Hi, fellow traders. I am fired up. I am pumped up today. Yesterday or last night, out of curiosity, I added up my earnings from this week. I looked at the days and I'm like, man, these are some pretty good days. I added them up and I'm like, as of yesterday, I had my largest week I know for the last year. And I kind of glanced through my records, and I believe this is the best week I've ever had. And that was before today even started. So obviously I started the morning kind of skeptical and really frustrated because I was in two trades that I was holding overnight. But I mean, it just blew my mind. It snuck up on me. It really did. And I'm kind of glad it snuck up on me because I guess it would have messed my head up had it not done that. But I'll share that with you here at the end of the recap for today. But, one of the secrets is, I focus on the day. I focus on winning the day. I take it one day at a time, one trade at a time. Actually, I focus on winning that trade. And winning doesn't necessarily mean having a green trade. Winning means that I executed my trade plan perfectly, or as close to perfect as I could. Now, the trades aren't going to be perfect, but we need to strive for perfection in executing our trade plans. That's where we can get better. And, I focus on it one trade at a time, one day at a time. Personally, I don't have any daily goals. I don't look to make X amount of dollars a day. I don't have any weekly goals. I don't look to make X amount of dollars a week or yearly goals. All I care about is perfecting the day. Winning that day, perfecting each trade that I can and end up winning that day. Because if I focus on that and I focus on the skill in executing, the money's going to be there. And if it's not enough money, I just keep growing. I'll keep increasing my share size. I'm not going to look to take more trades. I'm going to put more skin in the game. And that's kind of how I looked at it. But it's really been an incredible run. And there's one thing that I added that has really boosted my trading profits this year. And, it's one strategy that I saw that was working that I had used in the past when I was learning how to swing trade. And I just kind of put it to the side because I was comfortable holding overnight and everything. And it was the all day, or what we call all day holds. We're holding the trade all day long. And we're getting in and we're riding the trend. And it's been paying off pretty good. And I don't plan on stopping that. I practically stopped my swing trading and focused 100% on these all day holds because if I can make $2,000-$3,000 in one day versus holding it 2 or 3 days, I'm gonna opt for the one day. Every time it's less exposure. Some people call day trading gambling. But for me, the big gamble is holding, overnight for several days because you don't know what news is going to come out. We saw in several stocks that we were trading this week how news came out and turned the tide of that stock on a dime. And people who were trading based on one thing, got blindsided. So, there's nothing wrong with swing trading, but there is a little bit more risk involved and holding overnight. That's common sense. So, I'm going to keep working on it. That strategy is still under construction a little bit, and I'm going to keep working on it. And we're going to keep, striving for winning each day. Taking it one trade at a time, one day at a time. All right, so MU. Now, this is a stock I got in yesterday after market. We were looking at trading earnings on this. And, it didn't make the move. If you remember the recap from yesterday, it just didn't make the move. And I took half of it off, and I said I'm going to leave the other half on because I'm expecting a gap down. And I was looking for a gap down to 50, below 55, below the 20. Ideally, I was looking for a gap down below the 20, and then it to sell off a little bit, come back and retest, allow me to get in for an all-day hold, and take this thing down to the 50s, to 50. That was my plan. In my mind, that's what I was thinking last night, which is the reason why I held it. Well, this morning, let's take a look at it here. Okay, so this morning, I wake up, and this thing started trading at 4 o'clock this morning. This thing started selling off. And by the time, I cut my platform on, which was, around in here, we were selling off more. So I'm like, hey, this thing is going to do just what I want it to do. It's going to open below. It's going to open below 55 because you see we were already at 54. At the open, we're going to push up to 55 and then we're going to sell off, and I'm going to be able to do some damage. Well, I'm sitting here and I'm waiting on my son to get ready, and this thing just shoots out of a cannon, out of nowhere. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? So, of course, somebody doesn't want this thing to drop, so they're pumping it. They're coming out with this story, that story. I'm like, what? This is ridiculous. This is a crap stock, and it should be, going down. But you got to realize what we think and what we believe is one thing. What happens in the market is another. So we have to make sure we follow what the market is doing. So as soon as we put in this candle, we closed above all of these moving averages, and this confirmed it. I went ahead and dumped it. Still got $1,016 out of this. But, I had another point in this, which would have been, over $1,500 in this when we were down here. And then all of a sudden, it killed a point right there. And I wasn't about to hold it and hold it through it. I locked in the profit on this. And I didn't see anything else that I was interested in trading all day. So I pretty much shut this account off. Once I closed this out right at 7 o'clock, right when I could get in, I took it off, and then that was that. So this turned out to be a pretty good deal. This was just a continuation of what I did yesterday. Oh yeah, here's a chart from yesterday. I forgot I had it. This is where I got short after, we had the big sell-off, we had the recovery, and then once we do that, that's when it's safe for me to get in, using the technicals and take it down. So I knew this thing may, go back up a little bit because we had the conference call coming. Probably should have waited and got in up here. But, we had the class yesterday, and, I needed to get my position in before we got started. And so I did. Had it broke over this, I would have taken it off. But we didn't. it worked. We started selling off, but we just could not crack 56 at all. I wanted to take profit down here at 56 and leave the rest on for tomorrow to gap down below 55 and keep going. But just didn't work out. So I took half off here, let the other half ride. And, you know, that was the trade from yesterday. So today, I decided, okay, you know, I was in ABBV. This is the one that I talked about yesterday that I got kind of turned around in. And we'll look at that one here in a minute. But MU, I thought, you know, once I saw this huge sell-off, I thought, hey, this is probably going to do what I was looking for it to do. And I wasn't bold enough to take it off the 100-day up here. Well, actually, I was. I missed the entry. And I wasn't going to jump in it down here, even though it would have worked out good. This was the first 5-minute candle. This was the 5-minute opening range low here. Should have jumped in it here. I just flat missed it. So I had to sit on my hands and wait. And I got in right here under this 55.82 level. And this, I wasn't going to get in here because we were so close. And if this bounced and went back the other way, you know, I wouldn't be too far gone. So, or it wouldn't have hurt me so much. So I waited, and you can see this thing did run up and test VWAP and tried to move back up. It did fight off this level, but then we came back and sold through it. Here's the 5-minute, the 20 from the daily chart. This was where I wanted it to gap down below, come back and retest and sell off at the open. So I covered some here, and then I covered another half here, and this didn't quite get to 53.50. That's where my final target was. There was actually a level down here, I think at 53.13 or something. We couldn't get through 50, so as we bounced, I took it off. And of course, we're back here, and I would take this setup every day. It doesn't matter. I take it again tomorrow if I saw it. Just what we look for. It went up, rejected. I wasn't going to take it up here because we were too close to the 20-day. So I waited until we broke through the 20-day, got short, had a nice candle right here, and then all of a sudden it gets bought back up, and I have to stop out. And I'm like, damn. You know, and then, again, this is a carbon copy of yesterday. I get in again right here, thinking we're going to finally turn over, and got stopped out again. And so I just had to wait until it was time, you know, until we got up here and tested the 200 and got back in, and then we sold off. Now, these are the trades that we talked through in chat. And what I did today was something a little different, because what I found out is a lot of people are watching my platform and they're watching it, but they're not really watching their charts. They're not really trying to understand what's happening or what's going on with the P&L. If it moves funny, then they'll ask me, you know, am I going to stop out? Or, you know, what do I think about this? Or what do I think about that? So today, you know, I brought up my Thinkorswim chart with all of my indicators on it, and we talked through the trade and explained what was happening, what you should be looking for, what levels, you know, are important and what comes into play. You know, so here was a pullback, and VWAP was the first target. Okay, second target is going to be the 20 from the daily. I mean, these are legitimate targets here. So we focused on being patient, allowing the trade to work, trusting your technical levels. You know, here we bounced back through VWAP. We tested the 20 and the 9. We could not claim either one, and it rolled back over. So the trade's still in play. We hit our target here, and then as we start to bounce, we can, we just take it off. We lock in this profit, because if it bounces and rejects, we're getting back in under this 20, because this is what we can base our trade off of. It's been support here twice. Now it's going to be resistance. So we get short here. We allow the trade to work. The technical levels are still in play here. We got the 9 coming down. We got the 20 coming down. The VWAP is inching its way down. This is telling me that it's a weak sentiment here. And this is what we have to be looking at. Watching the price action. Watching what's happening so that we know if we need to get out, we'll get out so that we don't get blown up. And that's the whole point of learning how to read price action and understanding, what we're seeing in these candlestick formations. We're matching up this and we're looking at the volume. We're watching these hand in hand. So we got short here again. We kind of held through this. And then took it off for the late day fade. It's just a matter of locking in on one chart. And as long as you're getting the moves, you stick with it. Now, if this thing flattened out and was trading in the 20-cent channel, what's the point in trying to trade it? We're not taking 20-cent moves. We're looking for solid moves, and we're looking to catch the meat of those moves. So we traded this thing a high of 57 or 56.89, a high of 56.89, and a low of 54. So almost 3 points here. Range that we traded to stop. And let's see, what did we get on this? 1175.22. Minus commissions would be 1165, 1160. But the point is, we stuck with one stop. We weren't chasing the scanners. We weren't trying to chase everything that moves. We're not trying to get in and out real quick on a 1 or 2 minute chart. We are taking our time, and we are identifying the trends, and we're trading it. And, it doesn't get any more simpler than that. What makes it difficult is executing it. It's easy to learn the strategies. The hard part is executing those strategies. And some of them are going to be harder for you to execute than others because of your risk tolerance. That's just, a natural thing. But this is what I like to teach. This is what, is ideal for us if we're trading a small account, because we can take a series of trades and grow and just add to our account. A series of trades and add to our account. And having the confidence when the stock starts to bounce, having a confidence in our technical levels, and understanding that, in order, a stock would have to claim that level in order to really get out. Just going and trading above it doesn't do anything. It needs to close above it. The next candle needs to confirm. And, then you can move on. But really pleased with MU today. ABBV, this is the one that left a sour taste in my mouth yesterday. This is the chart from yesterday. You can see we had two solid trades, two absolute beautiful trades. And then a little bit of mess, loose and not paying attention. Ended up having to hold this overnight. And the reason why I held it overnight was because I liked the daily chart. You see, we had closed below the 100-day. We had sold off a real nice sell-off candle. Now I know we had some support in here, but the 20 I thought was doable. I mean, the 200 here I thought was very doable. So after the close yesterday, I just said I'm going to hold it because I believe we could get the 100-day. I mean the 200-day. So I left it on, looking for the gap down. And we did not get it. We got a gap up. It ran up. I was down on this stock all day pretty much. But if I had to at some point transfer this, transfer the position to my long-term account, then I would have done that. But I really, honestly and truly felt, looking at this chart, that we were going to get some sell-off today. I did not think we were going to try to push back up, but it did a little bit. But we got it. It's all said and done. And right at the close, I closed out my position on it. Only made $127, but I felt like this is a win based on where it had me, at the point. Now, do I think this is gonna fade into next week? Yeah. And I may look at getting in this at the open or pre-market next week. But for today, I just needed to get out of it. I don't want to be in swing trades in my day trading account. That's not ideal because it takes away some of your buying power. I could only get, I would have loved to trade 1,000 shares on MU, but because I was stuck in ABBV, that was a buying power killer for me. So that was my day. We're gonna look at my numbers for the week, but real interesting day. I'm all cash, which is lovely. I don't have to hold anything over in my day trading account or my short-term swing account. So feels good to be going into the weekend all cash. All right, so this is where I really got excited. I had added up everything. I knew where I was. Going into today, and I was just ecstatic. I went to bed smiling last night. Even though I was holding two positions, I went to bed smiling. So for the week, we finished today 2270, 12. For the week, 14087, 676. And here's the kicker. This is the best month that I've had, and it's gonna be the best month. I don't foresee going red, every day next week and giving all this back. I just don't. If I start out trading outside of myself, I will shut it down. And this is amazing because I usually My average is 5 red days a month. 5 red days a month. And I've only had 1 red day this month, which was back on the 20th. And that is amazing. But what's even more amazing, and what I'm so happy about, is that you guys get to experience this as it happens. You get to experience my struggles. You get to experience my triumphs. I mean, you're there for everything. And I think that makes this all worthwhile, because it lets you see, firsthand what's possible, if you get this down. Because, and it's not easy. It's not easy to do, because if it was easy, everybody would be doing this. But it's not. And success in the trading industry, it's not for the weak or uncommitted. Okay, the process, you hear me talk about the process that we have to go through, whether you believe it or not, or whether you subscribe to that theory or not. You go through a learning process, no matter whether you call it that or not. And that process weeds out the weak and uncommitted. It weeds you out. And yeah, I know a lot of traders that got weeded out. They, some of them won't admit it to me, but most of them do. They admit, I can't do it. This isn't for me. I can't put in the time or the effort or whatever it is. They can't. The thing is, if you really want to do this, if this is something that you really want, you're not going to quit like that. You're going to put in that hard work. And you're going to be committed. And you're going to stick to and believe in that process. And again, like I told you at the beginning, it's all about winning that day. Taking one trade at a time, one day at a time, and do the best that I can that particular day on that particular trade. And that's what helps me get to where I am. Because I'm not focusing, and I'm not nitpicking, and I'm not looking at every day worrying about whether I'm red or green or trying to hit a number. I mean, I'm floored by the numbers I had this week. This was an incredible week. I'm expecting things to slow down. After last week, I'm expecting things to slow way down this week, and we're going to crawl into earnings season. But we just had a lot going on this week and a lot of trading opportunities. But I focused on winning that day. And, I didn't worry about the next day. I didn't worry about the previous day. I only worried about the day. So, I think I remember watching a video that ET did. And, one of the things he said was, innovation is rewarded, but execution is worshipped. And that can't be more true than in trading. Innovation in trading is rewarded. We are rewarded with coming up with new things, with innovating ideas and things that help us in our journey. But execution is what's worshipped. Not everybody can execute on the level that they need to in order to be successful. And that's where my big focus is going to be with this small account program that we're starting up. It's going to be focused on execution. We've gone through a lot of the basics, and those that want to come in and want to get caught up, it's all on video. All the classes that we did are on video, and all of the ones that we're going to be doing are going to be on video. But, you know, it's all about choosing the right stocks. You know, it's about understanding what you need from yourself. Having that why. Why are you doing what you're doing? If it's just to get rich, you're probably going to be one of those that quit. Because your why is weak, and, you know, that's going to cause a lack of commitment. But if you have a real deep-seated why, you know, that's the first part of the game. And then you want to understand the price action, understand how to read charts, understand how to get in rhythm with your stock that you want to trade. You know, then learn how to pick the right stock, and, you know, how to position yourself correctly in the trade. You know, there's several different ways to do it. There's one that I feel works best with small accounts. You know, we talked about that. So there are a couple more things that we need to get into. But once we get going, the focus is going to be on execution. That's what it's going to be about. You know, executing your trade plan. All right, guys. So there will be a video coming out that's going to explain more about the small account program. I'm going to try to get it posted tomorrow. So if you want to get a part of this, you can start the weekend. You know, all you have to do is join the community. That's all you have to do. And you get access to all the classes, everything. I don't, you know, I started doing it, but I just don't think that model works well, to where you have people segregated and separated, you know, by you signed up for a month and you subscribed for a year, and everybody is on the equal playing ground. Everybody's here to do the same thing, and, you know, we're gonna make it happen for everybody. So just come join us. We'll be ready to hit the ground running. But look out for that video this weekend as well. So I'll see you guys later. Some of you I'll see you on Sunday morning. We'll be building our swing trade watch list. And the rest of you, I'll see you Monday morning.